So I took a look at the business awards the Chamber was doing, and the pinnacle award was something called the Lifetime Achievement Award. Invariably, the Lifetime Achievement Award would go to somebody who looks like me, somebody who's probably an old male who had built up the economy that surrounds us here. And I wanted that to be something that was a bit more inclusive and innovative. So we dropped that and instead created something called the Award of Distinction. But to still recognize people historically from the Chamber's work, we then created the Greater Victoria Business Hall of Fame, which, like any Hall of Fame, can go back in history and recognize people. So the day that we were going to announce the Hall of Fame, the media release was ready to go. The day before that is when they announced that they had found the grave sites at the Kamloops Residential School. So put a hold on that, went back and thought about it, and realized that we had been a part of that problem. We were, I believe, the first chamber in Canada to acknowledge the fact that we had been implicit in the suppression of Indigenous culture. And for that, we apologized. It also made me take a look at what our actual cohort of Indigenous businesses is rather within the chamber. So of 1,400 members, only 14 were Indigenous owned. So we created something called the Indigenous Reconciliation Table, where I would literally sit at a table with Indigenous businesses, ask them why they had never engaged with the chamber. It wasn't really a match of culture. The thing I heard most often was I didn't feel welcome and I didn't see anybody who looked like me. At the same time, I looked at the matrix of our entire membership across the board in all categories and realized that we were not as diverse as we should be. In other words, as the voice of business in Greater Victoria, we didn't really reflect the profile of the culture of the people that live here. So we started to reach out to organizations like the Victoria Chinese Commerce Association and the South Asian Business Association and the Black Business Association, and had the same conversation. Why have you never been involved with the chamber? Didn't feel welcome, didn't see anybody who looked like me. We created a committee called the IDEA Committee, which is Inclusion, Diversity, Equity, Advancement Committee. And that's populated by people who represent all elements of diversity within our community. And we said to them, this is not a committee that we are striking to tell you what to do. You need to tell us what to do. So in that sense, that's another way that we're increasing the diversity within our membership. I think it's incumbent upon all chambers to take a look at the demographic of the community they serve, the business community and the actual general population. And does your chamber member profile match that matrix of people? If you don't have that equal representation, then you're not really fully speaking on behalf of all corners of the business community. So whatever DEI work can be done, I would encourage everybody to do so. I've had some contact with other chambers who have said, I'm kind of terrified to do that. I think I might say the wrong thing. My advice to that is just go ahead and try and stand to be corrected, because that's how we learn.